Hello and welcome to the inspirational pop-up today. So I'm welcoming Bridget from South Africa, like always on this moment. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I think it's very fortunate that we are now going into summer, and I know for you, you're more going into the winter, which is not great. But yeah, you can see the difference. But I think the seasons are good because when you lose the one, you get the other one. You appreciate it, so it's good.
Yeah,
Good to have change of season.
I really love the seasons because it's always connected to emotions as well, where we come to this I would say the time where you calm down a bit. It's getting autumn, like the leaves are so colorful, but it's going to sleep. The nature is going to sleep, and also for us, it's time to reflect, I guess. And you're going to spring, to summer, to a new period of life. That's always interesting how nature is connected to our life. That's for sure. We are a part of it. And with the emotions comes the thoughts, and this is always something that affects our emotions, and that's why we are talking about today taming your monkey mind. And monkey mind, for all the Germans who are watching this, is like wenn die Gedanken ständig kreisen. Ja, das ist so dieses, was wir in Englisch als monkey mind bezeichnen. So, and how does monkey mind work?
Well, monkey mind's actually it's a Buddhist term, and what's interesting about it is I am definitely somebody who has that very very busy mind. It's unsettled, it's busy, it's go go go. And what you want to try and do, because we have on average 6,000 thoughts per day. So I'm not saying for one single second you can wake up and you can go, "What? I'm just not going to think." Like that's not humanly possible, no matter how evolved you are. However, what we can do is go, okay, our thoughts are just our thoughts. That's all they are. That's all they are. So when you're feeling those things, like one of the things that I do is when I'm feeling quite riled up, like as in stressed, my first thought is I do a mantra and I go, "You've got this. You've got this." That's my mantra. So I don't know if you have a mantra, but when things feel like they're snowballing out of control, what do you do?
First of all, I had to realize that it makes a really big difference if you realize that you are not your thoughts, because nobody told me this before. So I always had this feeling it's me. And as it is me because it's my thoughts. But if you really get out of control because all these thoughts are coming and you know it, like so many people who have so many projects like we have, like creative people, also people management people who have so many things on the list every day, and you wake up and you have these thoughts, then you can also step back and say, hey, okay, it's a part of me, but you are not your thoughts. So you're something bigger, you're something more, also I don't know, you can call it higher self or whatever, but you can step back and say, okay, is it true, all of this what is in your mind? And for me it helped a lot when I learned this method of the work from Byron Katie. Do you know that?
I do know Byron Katie, yeah.
Yeah, and this is like a really cool tool because she just asks you 4 questions, and the first question is always, when you have a thought, so I have to do this, or I can't do it anymore, or whatever, you ask yourself, is that true? And if you say yes, then you ask yourself again, is it 100% true? And then you sometimes think, perhaps not. I don't have to do it. I can leave this and leave that. But if you say yes, then you ask yourself, how do you feel if you think that thought? That's the third question.
Yes,
and then you realize what the thought is doing with your emotions. And this was really mighty the first time I did, how heavy it is, how sad it is.
Yeah, I wanted to say something on that, because around the emotion, your emotions are triggered by your thoughts. So if you are feeling, again, and I always say this whenever I'm doing these talks, is it's, we're not talking about people who suffer from a chronic depression or any of those sort of challenges, but we're talking about people who, maybe you're just feeling a bit sad or a bit low or a bit sorry for yourself or, that kind of thing, that those thoughts are creating that emotion. So if you don't want to feel that way, you have to just change your thoughts. Whereas you think your emotions rule you, but it's actually your thoughts that rule your emotions, which rule you. Yes, sorry, I had to interject there because it was relevant.
No, it's really cool because I had as for me it was also mind blowing the first time when I was in a depression. I didn't feel well, and then somebody, I always had the feeling I have no choice. It is them or my headmaster or my boss or whatever who makes me feel that way. And then somebody said, "Is that true?" And because I accepted it that it is like that, I was in this victim mode again, where we have talked already many times. No? But if you are thinking, is that true? And then you find other situations where it is not true, so you can't say it's 100% true. Yeah, and that was the thing. Also I remember I did it with a teenager from 19 years old, and he said, "Oh, I have to stay at my parents' house until I finish my trainee program or whatever, but they always argue with each other and it's so horrible, and I have no choice because I have no money." And I said, "Is that true?" And then he looked at me, and it was like putting a mask beside, because he said, "Oh yeah, if you ask me this question, no." Because I said there are programs to finance trainees or to find like a kind of a collocation with someone, or so there are possibilities, but you don't think of them because you're so in this thought. Yeah. And then the trick from Byron Katie is as well that you turn it around. Yeah. If you always have, I have to do this, or I'm not able to do it. How do you feel if you say, "I'm able to do it"? And then find proofs where you are able to do it. And that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I've been staying at this cottage that I'm staying in for about a year now, and then there was certain things that weren't working for me. So I thought, no, it's not working for me. I addressed it with the landlord. The landlord said, "Well, it's what it is." I was like, "Nah, that doesn't work for me." So I sent them my notification that I'm going to move out at the end of the year when my lease was up. And literally, as I sent the letter or emailed the letter, it was, I didn't have another place in mind. I hadn't done any work or anything or research. And this was, my lease is up at the end of November. I get a phone call from a friend of mine's mom, and she's my mom's friend, and she said, "Look, I've got a cottage if you want to rent it." I mean, literally, it just flowed. It completely. So instead of worrying about, okay, where am I going to go to now? Literally, I was just like, I'm not stressed about it. It's just going to work. And now I found this other beautiful place, and it's way for right now. It's even better. It's better suited for me. So it is, if you can still your mind and sit back and trust the process and not get anxious about it, you just feel happier and calmer.
Yeah, and it's this, I guess it's the same with meditation, where we were talking about also several times. If you calm this monkey mind or these thoughts, then you get more clarity, you get more I would say more headspace for
Yeah.
creativity, for other ideas. And that's the thing. And also, a good exercise is to sit down every morning and to write down what is thinking in your head. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you are really surprised and you think, who is that? What is thinking that? Or, yeah, because
Yeah.
it comes from society, it comes from duties you have to do. But it's, yeah, you can calm it down. If you write it down, it's out of your head. And then
I think
go.
also it gives you, it makes you very present to the present moment, and it just makes you very clear on what's going on. And because of all that, it just simplifies and you go, actually, it's okay. It's actually going to be okay. Yeah.
Do you have another exercise for other people?
What I do, and for me, this is meditation. It's a form of meditation. 5 days a week, I go running, and I go into the mountains and I go into the forest. So for me, that is very, very meditative. Like that for me is a place of going, okay, I process things. And so I do that.
Oh, what a treasure of tools to tame your monkey mind. Thank you so much, Bridget. It was inspiring. And I guess everyone has some tools for this week. So we wish you a wonderful week and see you next week. Thank you.